hey, beautiful, I'm so glad you're here, because what we're about to talk about might just change the way you see attraction forever. Let me ask you something there. Have you ever wondered why some women seem to have this almost magnetic pull, where a man can't get her out of his head, can't stop thinking about her, realize that and even after a simple conversation or a soft kiss, he's completely hooked? The truth is that it's not about being the most beautiful woman in the room or wearing the sexiest outfit. It's about knowing how to use one of your most powerful tools of seduction and connection, your lips. There. Now, before your mind drifts too far into the physical, yes, an incredibly sensual power in your lips. But I'm not just talking about kisses. I'm talking about how you use them, how you speak, how you whisper, how you tease, how you build anticipation with nothing more than a soft smile and the perfect pause. The way you use your lips has the power to drive a man wild, not just physically, but emotionally, because seduction isn't just about taking your clothes off. It's about creating a moment. It's about leaning in a little too close when you talk, brushing past his ear when you laugh, biting your lip when you're deep in thought, or whispering something so unexpected, so intimate that his mind spirals, trying hours to decode the moment. Your lips are instruments of tension, expression, and desire. And when you learn to use them with intention, they're with confidence, and most importantly, with restraint, you become unforgettable. That's what we're diving into today. This isn't about cheap tricks or pickup lines. This is about feminine power. Soft, sensual, magnetic power that lies in your ability to communicate with your mouth, your tone, your breath, and your timing. I want to show you how a whisper can feel more electric than a scream, how a well-placed pause can cause more tension than touch, and how the way you say something can make a man crave you more than what you actually say. Because when you master this, when you understand how to use your lips, not just for kissing, but for captivating, you'll unlock a kind of influence over his desire that even he won't be able to explain. He'll just know that something about you feels different, addictive, unshakable. And whether you're across the room on a late night call or inches from his mouth, he'll feel it. So get ready, because by the time we're done, you won't just understand how to use your lips, you'll know how to make a man crave them again and again. Now let's start with one of the most underrated but insanely powerful ways to use your lips: the way you speak, and more importantly, the way you slow it down. You see, most people rush through conversations like they're racing toward the end of a movie, trying to cram in every thought, every joke, every emotion. But not you, not after today. When you speak slowly, when your words roll off your lips like honey, when you pause just long enough for him to wonder what you'll say next, you instantly change the energy in the room. You pull him out of his head and into the moment. And in a world where everyone's moving fast, where everything is instant and rushed, that kind of slowness, that delicious, intentional pace, it becomes intoxicating. He won't even know why he's leaning in closer. He won't notice at first that his breathing's changed, that his eyes are locked on your mouth, that he's hanging on every word you say. But he'll feel it. He'll feel the burn of curiosity, the ache of wanting more. And you're not even touching him. You're just using your voice. That's the magic of it. Let your tone drop just a little lower. Speak as if your lips are brushing the edge of a secret. Realize that your words aren't just meant to be heard, they're meant to be felt. Take your time between sentences. Let the silence work for you. Because silence isn't awkward when it's intentional. It's tense, it's thick, it's electric. And when you control that silence, when you're comfortable in it, you show him you're not nervous, you're powerful, you're not chasing his attention, you're commanding it. Even something simple like saying, "I've been thinking about something lately," and then pausing, letting your eyes drop, maybe smiling just a little, you've already got him. Then they realize that you've created a space where anticipation lives. And anticipation, that's the birthplace of desire. When you speak slowly, you're saying, "I don't need to rush. Realize I'm not trying to impress you. I want you to feel this." And he will. Because the truth is, your lips don't need to scream to be heard. They don't need to try hard to be sexy. That their power lives in the moments between words, in the breath before you speak, in the softness of your tone, in the way your lips curve when you're about to say something bold. Realize that it's not being loud, being deliberate. And once you master that, you'll find that your presence alone becomes seductive. And he won't even know what hit him. He'll just know that when you speak, everything else fades. And all he wants is to hear more of you. Now let's take things one step deeper. Let's talk about the whisper. Not the kind that's loud enough to hear from across the room, but the kind that lands directly in his ear, so close that he feels it before he hears it. This is where seduction becomes art, where you don't just use your voice to communicate, you use it to affect. Imagine this, he's talking, laughing, maybe telling you a story about his day there, and while he's completely in control of the conversation, you lean in, not suddenly, but playfully, and you let your lips hover near his ear. Then you whisper something soft, personal, unexpected. It doesn't have to be sexual. In fact, it's often more powerful when it isn't. You could say, "You have no idea how good you smell right now," or "I love how you look at me when you talk like that," and then you pull back. No explanations, no giggles, just calm, sensual confidence. Realize that one moment, you've just injected a spike of electricity into his nervous system. Why? Because a whisper isn't just sound, it's intimacy. It bypasses logic and goes straight to the body. It tells him that this moment is just between the two of you, that there's a private connection being created in real time. Whispers imply closeness. They require proximity. And when you use your lips to whisper something that feels like a secret, even if it's not, it makes him feel chosen. It makes him feel wanted in a way that's different any loud compliment or flirtatious joke. A whisper can disarm a man, make him feel vulnerable, seen, desired, realize that there. But the trick here is not just in what you say, it's in how you say it. Your breath should brush against his skin. Your lips should nearly touch. And then, just as he leans in for more, you pull back like nothing happened. You shift the energy, return to calm conversation, and leave him sitting there wondering what just happened. That's the power of contrast, of tension, unspoken desire. And it all starts with knowing when to lower your voice, when to lean in, when to use your mouth not to explain, but to enchant. Most women try too hard to be heard, but you understand that sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is say less. And when you do it like this, he won't just listen. He'll feel, he'll remember. And long after the conversation ends, he'll still be thinking about your lips and that moment and how badly he wants to experience it again. There's a powerful difference between being obvious and gettable. And the way you compliment a man can either blend to the background noise of his life or echo in his chest for days. Most people give generic compliments like "you're hot" or "you're so handsome." And while flattery feels good in the moment, it doesn't make a man crave you. What does? Using your lips to say something so specific, subtly charged, that it slips past his ego and lands right where it counts, his masculine core. Because here's the truth, a man doesn't want to feel like every guy could have gotten the same words from you. He wants to feel like he unlocked a part of you no one else sees. That's where your power lies. In being observable and just a little dangerous. Pictures this, you're with him, maybe sitting close, legs barely brushing, energy quietly building there. And you lean in with that half smile and say something like, it's kind of unfair how confident you get when you talk about things you love there. It's a little distracting. And then you let that sentence hang there, a little smirk on your lips, eyes not giving everything away. That moment, you've just hit him somewhere no surface level praise could touch. It wasn't just a compliment, it was a tease. And the beauty of a tease is that it offers just enough to provoke desire, but not enough to satisfy it. It leaves him wondering what else you're noticing, what else you're feeling, what you might say. And because it's not overly sexual, it disarms him. It slides under his guard. It excites him without putting either of you in a place of desperation or overexposure. You're not chasing, you're igniting. Realize that you can even use contrast to make the tease land harder. Say something bold, then bite your lip as if you shouldn't have said it, or look away for just a second, as if the honesty slipped out without permission. That contrast between confidence and vulnerability is addictive to a man. It says, I see you, I'm intrigued, but I'm still in control. And that balance, playful yet poised, sensual yet smart, is what they words unforgettable. So the next time you're tempted to compliment a guy, ask yourself, am I feeding his ego or am I teasing his curiosity? Because when you choose the second one, when you use your lips not just to praise but to provoke, you create emotional tension, the kind that lingers long after you've walked away. Realize that there, and trust me, the next time he sees your mouth move, he won't just be listening. He'll be itching to know what secret you're going to slip next. There. Now here's where things shift, because being seductive isn't just about the yeezes you give, it's about the no you're not afraid to speak. And when you can use your lips to say no in a way that's calm, unshaken, and even sensual, that's when you become unforgettable. Why? Because most people associate no with rejection, coldness, or confrontation. But a woman who can say no and still hold softness in her eyes, a knowing smile on her lips, there and complete confidence in her tone, becomes rare. She's a challenge. She becomes respected. Imagine this, you're out with him and the flirtation's heating up. Maybe his hand lingers there, or he leans in a little too quickly. You could say yes, you could give in. But instead, you meet his gaze, let your lips curve just slightly, and say something like, not yet, or even more powerfully, like this, but I'm not ready to go there tonight.
Yeah.
And you don't apologize. You don't over-explain. You just let the moment breathe. That's what makes it magnetic, because in that instance, you're not pushing him away. You're pulling yourself closer to your own value. And here's the secreting. Their real men don't lose interest when you say no. They lean in deeper when it's done right. They sense that you're not withholding out of fear, but out of choice. That your body, your time, realize that your intimacy are privileges to be earned, not rushed. And when your lips say no in a way that's still warm, still flirtatious, still deeply feminine, you leave him aching for your yes. There, you show him that you have standards, not walls, boundaries, not barriers, that your no isn't a punishment, it's a reflection of your self-respect, that there. And here's what men crave more than approval or submission. They crave a woman whose yes something, a woman whose no is not a wall, but a signal that when the moment is right, when the connection is true, when desire is matched by mutual respect, she will open herself not just physically, but emotionally, completely. So say no when you mean it. Say it slowly. Say it with a smile that tells him you're still into him, but into yourself even more, because the lips that know how to whisper yes in the dark must first know how to say no in the light. There. And when you do it with grace, with confidence, and a touch of playful defiance, you'll drive him wild. Not just because you're beautiful, but because you're unshakable. There. And there's nothing sexier than a woman who owns her no and makes him wait for her yes. Now, let's talk about the moment everything else fades. When there are no more words, no more teasing glances, no more whispers hanging in the air, just his mouth near yours, and the anticipation of a kiss that could change everything. And if there's one thing that separates a kiss he forgets from a kiss he obsesses over, it's this presence. Not technique, not how sexy you look while doing it, but whether you're really in it, because a kiss isn't just lips meeting, it's energy exchanging, it's breath shared, it's a message whispered without sound that says, I'm here, and I want you to feel every second of this. Most people kiss the way they think they're supposed to, fast, eager, trying to impress. But when you kiss with presence, you slow down there. You let your lips linger. You match the moment, not the pressure. You feel the weight of his hands, the rhythm of his breath, the way his body leans just a little closer. And then when your lips finally meet, you don't rush. You savor. You kiss like you're tasting something precious, something you've waited for, something worth feeling fully. There, maybe your fingers trail lightly along the back of his neck. Maybe you pause before kissing him again and let your lips hover near his, teasing. Maybe you press in deeper. Realize that they're then softened back with a breathy sigh, letting him feel the contrast of tension and release. That's what drives a man mad. Not just the kiss itself, but the emotion behind it, the unpredictability, the intentionality. A kiss that says, I'm not just here for you to enjoy me. I'm here to feel this with you. And when he senses that, he loses himself. He stops thinking about what's next. He melts. He gets addicted, not just to the way your lips feel, but to the way you make him feel when you kiss him. And here's the thing. Presence in a kiss shows emotional depth. It shows you're not afraid to be soft, to be slow, to let intimacy unfold without forcing it. It shows maturity, power, confidence there. So next time you kiss him, whether it's your first or your 50th, don't perform, don't overthink. Just feel, just breathe. There, just kiss him like it's the only thing that exists in that moment, because the lips that kiss with presence are the ones he'll dream about when you're not there. The ones he'll compare every kiss to after. He'll crave, not for the way they move, but for the they made him stop moving, stop thinking, and just feel. And that darling bee is when he won't just want your body, he'll ache for your soul. So now, your lips aren't just for attraction, they're for awakening. They're the bridge between your body and your energy, between surface seduction and deep, unforgettable connection. And when you use them intentionally, to speak slowly, to whisper softly, to tease gently, to say no with power, and to kiss with presence. You stop being just another beautiful face and you become an experience he can't shake, because you're no longer relying on looks, approval, or performance. You're leading with feminine mastery. You're seducing not just with your body, but with your energy, your emotion, your awareness. And that's what makes you magnetic. That's what makes a man look at you and feel like he's met something different, something rare, something he doesn't want to lose. And maybe right now you're thinking, can something as small as the way I speak, the way I kiss, the way I say no really make that much of a difference? The answer is yes, because those moments, though they seem small, are what shape how a man experiences you. They create tension, they stir emotion, they make space for mystery, and is the seed of obsession. But here's the beautiful truth. You don't need to manipulate to be powerful. You don't need to pretend to be confident. That energy is already within you. All I'm showing you is how to slow down enough to let it rise, how to use your lips, your voice, your presence. Realize that to create moments that don't just feel sexy but meaningful there. Because when your energy is in alignment with your words, when your lips speak with warmth and truth and restraint, you become irresistible in the deepest sense. Not because you gave him everything, but because you gave him just enough to feel something real, something unforgettable. That's what stays with a man, not a body, not a moment, but a feeling, a tension, a softness, a spark. So don't ever underestimate the power of a whisper, the seduction of silence, or the kiss that takes its time. Don't rush to prove yourself. Don't perform to be chosen. Let your lips reflect your worth, not your need. Because when you kiss like you mean it, speak like you feel it, they realize that they're, and say no like you own it, you won't just stand out. You'll become the standard. And when a man experiences that level of woman, that balance of softness and strength, mystery and truth, sensuality and soul, he won't just want you, he'll pursue you. He'll chase what he can't control. He'll crave what he can't predict. And the best part, realize that you'll know that he's drawn not to a version of you created to impress him, but to the real you. Realize that they're the woman who knows exactly what she's worth and uses her lips to make sure he never forgets it.